Hey you guys, and welcome to another Amazon Spotlight video. So, Dee Dee, this is for you. She's been telling me I need to make another one soon. So the first three books that I have to show you are free, and two of them I've been wanting for a while. One of them I just found right before this video. So the first one is CREST by Lacey Weatherford, and it sounds really good. He's a bad boy partier with a really big secret. She's a talented girl with big dreams for the future. Neither of them want a relationship, but sometimes faith has a different plan. Yeah, it's romance, but hey, it's free, and if you're into that, give it a try. And the next one is also a romance story, kind of in that, I think they're both considered new adult. I'm not sure, but it's called Fallen Crest High by Tijan, and it follows Mason and Logan Cade, who are two brothers who do their own thing, and I guess they both fall for the same girl or something, so that's going to be interesting. And then the next one is called The Vanishing Girl by Thalassa. So every night this girl, she goes to sleep and she disappears and she teleports to like London and other stuff, and then her crush apparently captures her and delivers her to the government and then disappears right before her very eyes. And this is when she realizes that she is not alone, and people like her are teleporters, are used as weapons. So something happens, and it's free, and I think it came out this year and it sounds really good, so of course I had to go and get it because it's free. And then the next book that I have to show you is Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott, and it's currently $2.99. Came out February this year, and it is a pulse-pounding thrill ride where a teen girl and her animal companions must participate in a breathtaking race to save her brother's life and her own. So her brother is sick and they can't determine what's wrong with him, and then her parents decide to move them in the middle of nowhere, and then she receives mysterious instructions to become a contender in the Brimstone Bleed. It's an epic race across jungle, desert, ocean, and mountain that could win her the prize she desperately desires, a cure for her brother's illness. So this sounds really good, and it's only $2.99. And then we have False Memory by Dan Krokos, and it's currently $1.99. It's about this girl, Miranda, who works up on a park bench, and she has this thing that she can do. She incites fear around everyone around her, and she doesn't have no memory of why this is happening, but the stranger seems to be the only one not fearful of her, and she has no choice but to trust him, going along those lines. I believe that one is a first in a series, so that sounds good. And then the next one we have is Unremembered by Jessica Brody, and it is currently $2.99 on the Kindle, and it follows this girl who wakes up and she is the only survivor of a plane crash where there are no other survivors, and she has absolutely no memory and no one knows who she is. Like, it's like she didn't exist before this crash, and then she has no choice but to trust this boy who is the only one who says he knew her before she got on the plane. So yeah, and I know Katie from Kit Kat Can Read loves this book, and I should really get to it because I do own it. And then we have Infinity, Chronicles of Nick, and I believe this is the first one, and it's currently $2.99 on the Kindle, and I think most people know what that one's about, and it's by Sherrilyn, Kenyon. Then we have How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff, and this recently became a movie, and it takes place in the fictional future. Every war has turning points in every person too. So 15-year-old Daisy is sent from Manhattan to England to visit her auntie Coven she's never met before, but then the power fails, the systems fall, and they have to learn to make their way in this new world where World War III, I think, has happened. And I did start it a while before the movie, but my friends borrowed it and all read it before me, so I have to restart it and read it so I can go watch the movie because it seems awesome. And then we have Splintered, which is one of the monthly deals along with How I Live Now. So by the end of this month, they'll be changing their prices. And it's Splintered by A.G. Howard, and it's $3.49, and there's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, so that's going to be interesting. Apparently in Alyssa Gardner's Hears the Whispers of Bugs and Flowers, precisely the fiction that landed her mother in a mental hospital years before, and the family curse stretches back to her ancestor Alice Liddell, the real-life inspiration for Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So yeah, I've heard good things, and the cover is absolutely amazing, and so is a cover to the sequel in Hidden, so I should probably really read Splintered soon. And then we have Grave Mercy by Robin LaFevers, and is the first book in his Fair Assassin trilogy. And it's also $6.80 for hardcover for those of you who want to know. It's a bargain price. And it's about this 17-year-old girl who escapes the brutality of her arranged marriage and into the sanctuary of a covenant. And this is where she is trained, I think, by the handmaiden to serve as a handmaiden to death as his assassin. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I have the physical book, but I kind of want to get the ebook only because it's easier to, carry around. And it's like 565 pages, so that book's kind of big. And then we have another couple books I found just before, the filming of this that sounded really good, so I wanted to get them. They're also monthly deals, and it is Tears and Rain by Rosa Montero, and it is $1.99, and it was in like the science fiction fantasy. And it says death is inevitable, especially when you have an expiration date. As a replica or techno-human, Detective Bruno Husky knows two things: human bioengineered her to perform dangerous, undesirable tasks. She has just 10 years on the United States of Earth before her body automatically self-destructs, but with anti-techno rage on the rise and a rash of premature death striking her fellow replicates, she may have seen even less time than she had originally thought. So this sounds really, really good, and it's just going to dive into the violent history shared by humans and replicates, and I thought that sounded good. And then the next one is Blades of Winter, a novel of Shadowstorm, so I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a part of a series, or it's either a part of a series. I'll be sure to tell you if it's the first book down below, but I think it's the first one. It says 19-year-old Alex Nico, a self-described multi-dollar murder machine, is a rising star in X-Ops, a covert action agency that aggressively shields the United States from its three great enemies, the Soviet Union, Greater Germany, and the National Republic of China. Rather than risk another all-out war, the four superpowers have poured their resources into creating super spies known as levels. Alex is one of the hottest young American levels. There is no surprise. Her dad was America's top level before he was captured and killed 8 years ago. But when an impulse decision explodes literally in her face, Alex uncovers a conspiracy that pushes her to her limits and could upset the global balance of power forever. So this one sounds really, really interesting, and I am looking forward to starting it. And then we have, last but not least, Player Piano by Vonnegut, and it is $3.99, and I still haven't read any of these books yet. This one looks interesting, and it says this is first novel spins a chilling tale of an engineer, Paul Protis, who must find a way to live in a world dominated by a supercomputer and run completely by machines. So this sounds really, really good, and I'm thinking about getting it. So you guys let me know down below which ones were you guys interesting. Have you read any of these before? And if you did, what did you guys think of them? Were they worth buying? I don't know. And which ones did you find interesting that you are going to get? I would love to know, and I will see you guys next time with another Amazon Spotlight, and bye. See, this is just sad.